Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. With all the events surrounding Karrion Kross right now, and all the heat and all the hype that's going on with "We Want Cross, We Want Cross" hashtag "We Want Cross," I decided to make a video about Karrion Kross and all the events that led up that happened in his career in WWE until now. So here we go. Yeah. So Karrion Kross with Scarlett uh, came debuted in NXT in 2020. Um, Won the NXT title against Keith Lee. Had to relinquish the title because of a shoulder injury. Came back like 3 months later and won the NXT title again against Finn Balor. Now, during that time in NXT, his look was like he looked like a freaking killer. No hair, no beard, and the look that he was doing and everything. He was a killer. He was a top heel right off the bat. He had the look. He had everything for that. Went up to the main roster, and that's when, in my opinion, Vince McMahon fumbled on him big time, uh, and they let him go. He came back in 2022 by attacking Drew McIntyre. Oh, here's my little dog. So he attacked Drew McIntyre, and everyone remembers the it was the bloodline that was in the ring at this time, and Scarlett put the hourglass in front of Roman, and everyone was thinking that Karrion Kross was going to go after the title after he took care of Drew McIntyre. Now they had a series of matches with backstage interactions, the accidents, and Drew became more and more bitter and violent. And shortly after that rivalry, McIntyre won the final match between the two. In essence, Karrion Kross didn't win any of those feuds that I'm about to talk about, but in every feud, uh, Karrion Kross took something away from his opponent. Drew turned heel shortly after. It was bitter. It was that's where he developed the sour grapes, the conspiracy against him. Everything was rigged against him and everything. So, and Cross may was always talking about the fallen hero, about Drew McIntyre, and what he took from Drew McIntyre was he took his pride away. Then, second rivalry after that, it was Rey Mysterio. Now you see the mismatch there, Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross, but he accused Rey of being a bad father to Dominic, and that was when Dominic was in a team with Rey, had a feud with Judgment Day, and we all were always wondering if Dom was going to join their Judgment Day or something like that. And when Dominic turned heel and joined the Judgment Day, setting up a feud between father and son, Cross continued his interactions with Ray, leading with him to have less and less patience for Dom. Scarlett was always delivering um, tarot cards depicting Ray in different situations. And Ray finally snapped, and he slapped his son after Dominic was screaming at his mother. And finally, there was the WrestleMania match. So Karrion Kross took Ray's patience for his son from Ray in this feud. Then, third big rivalry for Karrion Kross was Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Shinsuke was a baby face when he came back, and Kross had started targeting um, Shinsuke with tarot cards as well, the same way that they did with Ray. Again, Kross made the darker side of Shinsuke come out, leading to a heel turn from Nakamura. And the persona we saw in Shinsuke's Nakamura, the last comeback, is somewhat because of that feud with Karrion Kross, in which Karrion Kross took uh, Shinsuke Nakamura's honor. Now, Shinsuke was always trying to win the right way and everything when he was a face, and now he's taking every shortcut he can. Even though we don't see him that much anymore, we don't see him at all. In fact, I'm wondering if Nakamura is injured again, but I hope not. But they're not doing anything with Shinsuke Nakamura right now. Like I said, Karrion Kross took uh, Nakamura's honor away from him in that feud. And then the most recent one after after that, well, I'm before I talk about Sami Zayn. After there was the episode with the Last Testament with AOP and Paul Ellering, and I thought maybe that would develop into something, but it never really took off the way I think Triple H intended. Uh, that could have been something good. They could have given maybe the tag titles to AOP, but it never really that that group never really took off. It's a shame. It's because maybe with better people it would have worked. But anyway, uh, so that didn't work, and I think it was a setback for Karrion Kross at that moment. Then they came back with Karrion Kross being the guy that plays mind games on everyone, and his next target was Sami Zayn. Now, of course, there was also the New Day that I forgot, uh, and he essentially led to New Day's heel turn as well. So you see the tendency right there that everyone that Karrion Kross had interactions with, they would eventually turn heel. McIntyre, well, not everyone. Rey Mysterio didn't turn heel, but he did lose patience for his son. Shinsuke turned heel, New Day turned heel, and his next target was Sami Zayn. Now, he tried to get Sami to embrace his darker side, and Sami was resisting for the whole feud. And it culminated at SummerSlam when he refused to use the steel pipe to win the match. That feud was Sammy's integrity versus Cross's and Scarlett's manipulation. But now, even though Sammy won the feud, even though that at SummerSlam he didn't use the lead pipe or the steel pipe or whatever it was made of, the dark side seeds are planted in Sammy. And when he'll see that he can't win the belt the right way, maybe he will be more and more tempted to reveal his darker side and win the title by having a more of a killer instinct. Anyway, that's what I think it's going to lead. Not necessarily a heel turn for Sammy, but when he sees that every time he tries to win the title the right way, he can't do it. He didn't do it against Roman at the Chamber in 2023. He didn't. He couldn't do it against Seth Rollins. He couldn't do it against Gunther. And now he's at himself. He wants to be a world champion. He talks about it. That's what his gimmick is right now. He's gunning to be a world champ. He's gonna have another chance. Maybe he's gonna fail again, and maybe that's what's gonna make him snap. And if Karrion Kross comes back, Sammy could go ahead one day and say to Karrion Kross, "You were right. You told the truth." It might be what's coming for Sami Zayn. Now, Karrion Kross's or Kevin Kizar or whatever his name is, I'm not sure, but anyway, Kevin's contract is ended right now. It has not been renewed. Anyway, has it or has it not? We can't be sure because he was selling a lot of merch. He was very popular. There's a lot of hashtag going on. We want Cross. We want Cross. And even Paul Heyman talked about him in a podcast that he could be. This is the same movement that he saw with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Um, so I'm wondering if he hasn't already signed a contract, but they want to keep it secret because he just has a book that came out this week. He's going on a book tour, so maybe all his tweets about accepting bookings for him and Scarlett, accepting bookings for other federations. I find that a little bit bizarre because usually they have a 90-day no compete clause, and now he says he's accepting bookings right after his contract is expired. There's something fishy a little bit there. What I think is going on right now is that I might be wrong. There's a there's even a big chance that I'm wrong, but that's what my gut feeling is right now. Is that Karrion Cross already signed a contract, a renewal, him and Scarlett, but they gave him some time off to maybe have him a little bit forgotten, even though if the all the hashtags continue, he won't be forgotten. But what I mean right now is that maybe they accepted to give him some time off for in order for him to do his a book tour, sell his book a little bit, and then he comes back and attacks Sammy again after Sammy fails to win a title. He attacks Sammy again and goes like, "Look, I told you, you won't be a champion as long as you don't embrace your darker side. The devil the devil we don't know because Karrion Cross always says he's the devil you know, and he was always telling that Sammy was the devil you don't know. So maybe that's when he comes back and tells to Sammy, you see, you need to be the devil. You need to embrace the devil that's inside you. That's what I think that's going to happen. Maybe in a month or two, uh, when Karrion Cross maybe comes back, or Karrion Cross and Scarlett come back to WWE. Another thing that makes me think that is that his contract is finished, but he's still using his WWE name in his promotion. Like Karrion Kross is gonna he's gonna do a book tour. Karrion Kross is this. He's still using his WWE name. He's not using Killer Cross. He's not going with his well on Twitter. He's still Kevin. Uh, his real name there, but all his promotion you see posters. It's all Karrion Cross all over. So he's still using his WWE name, even though he would not be under contract with them. So that's another thing that makes me think that he already signed this contract. Now, if he comes back, which I hope he does, one thing, one other a hint that tells me that he's still uh, that he's still under contract, but they might still have plans for him, is that they gave him his old entrance back, and I just love that song and that entrance. I just love the way it's done. Now, if he comes back, I think he has to come back to how he looked when he was in NXT. No hair, uh, no beard, just the look that he had in NXT. He was freaking scary. And I think that's how he has to come back to make a change, not change his style, but really change his appearance. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. Um, you can always write to me. I'll put my email address at the end of this video. So tell me what you think in the comments, and looking forward to speaking to you again.